In this class, we're going to discuss about shaft subjected to fluctuating loads. In the previous class, we have analyzed about shaft subjected to the constant bending and torsional or twisting moment. But in this class, we're going to discuss about the fluctuating loads. In general or in practice, actual practice, the shafts are subjected to the fluctuating torque as well as the bending moment. So we need to consider once we design such shafts like a line shaft and a counter shaft, the combined shock and fatigue factors must be taken into account for computed twisting moment and bending moment. In real case, in actual practice, we need to consider these things because the load will be fluctuating in each and every point. Okay, there will not be any constant load. That's why we focused on this shaft subjected to fluctuating loads. If we focused on a shaft subjected to combined bending and torsion, then equivalent twisting moment, the equation will be TE equal to root of Km into M square plus KT plus T square. So we know that is KT is see here. So it is KT into T square. Okay, this is not plus, this is KT into T square. Then the equivalent bending moment will be ME equal to 1 by 2 Km into M plus root of Km into M square plus KT into T the whole square. So whereas the Km is, we already discussed about the Km and the KT. Km is nothing but a combined shock factor and fatigue factor for bending, and the KT is combined shock and fatigue factor for torsion. We all know about that Km and KT. So once we go through these values Km and KT, which will be based on the shaft. See this. This is a recommended value for Km and Kf. The nature of load may stationary or rotating shaft. If it is stationary shaft, then it consists of two categories. One is a gradually applied load and a suddenly applied load. For gradually applied load, Km is 1 and KT is also 1. And for suddenly applied load, the Km is between 1.5 to 2 and the KT is between 1.5 to 2. And for rotating shaft, here the three categories are there. One is gradually applied for steady load, it is 1.5 and 1 for T KT, and suddenly applied load with minor shocks, the Km value should be 1.5 to 2 and the KT should be 1.5 to 2. And suddenly applied load with heavy shocks, then Km the value lies between 2 to 3 and the KT which lies between 1.5 to 3. So now in this class we're going to look upon a problem which is regarding to the shaft which is subjected to fluctuating loads. Okay. So now we're going to look upon a problem. A mild steel shaft transmit 20 kilowatt at 200 at the speed of 200 rpm. It carries a central load of 900 Newton and it is simply supported beam. The bearing simply supported between the bearing 2.5 meter apart. Determine the size of the shaft. If the allowable shear stress is 42 megapascal and the maximum tensile or compressive stress is not exceed to 56 megapascal. So what size of the shaft will be required if it is subjected to gradually applied load? So first we need to take the datas, and laterwards we will going to calculate the size of the shaft. Okay, so they asked us to calculate the size of the shaft. So what are the values which are given? So first the load, a P is given. It transmits a power, so P is, here is, we take P is power, kilowatt, that is equal to 20 into 10 to the power of 3 watt. Okay, the power is given, and the speed of N equal to 200 rpm is given. And the next W, a load which is given as 900 Newton, and another thing, length, simply supported between the bearing, the total distance L equal to 2.5 meter apart. Okay, the next one is shear stress, allowable shear stress tau equal to 42 megapascal or else 42 Newton per mm square. And the next one is compressive stress. So sigma b equal to 56 megapascal, that is 56 Newton per mm square. So these are the given data which are available. So first we need to, so we know the power, speed, W, tau and sigma b. So what we going to do? So first we need to calculate so solution. So what we going to do is, first we're going to calculate so what they expect from us is to calculate the size of the shaft. Okay, this is what they have expect from us, size of the shaft. Okay, first for size of the shaft, first we need to calculate the diameter of the shaft. So diameter of the shaft, d equal to dia of the shaft in mm. So this is the first one, diameter of the shaft. So for that, so first we just go to the given data. So P is 20 kilonewton is given. 20 kilonewton is given. Okay. So first we're going to take. So we know the formula. P equal to 2 pi. So we know that P equal to 2 pi nt by 60. With the help of this, we're going to generate a new formula. So T equal to P into 60 by 2 pi n, whereas we know the values of P 20 into 10 to the power of 3 into 60 by 2 into pi into n as 200. Okay, so if we calculate these things, you will get T equal to 955 Newton meter, or else 955 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton millimeter. This is what we have obtained, Newton millimeter. Okay, next, so we will get T equal to 955 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton millimeter. The next we are going to calculate the bending moment. So maximum bending moment of simply supported shaft carrying a central load is for SS Wm into m equal to W into L by 4, whereas we know W as 900 into L as 2.5 by 4. So m equal to, is all these things, you will get 562.5 Newton meter, whereas m equal to 562.5 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton millimeter. This is what we have expressed. We will get so T equal to 955 Newton meter or 10 to the power of 3 Newton millimeter, and m equal to 562.5 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton millimeter. This is what we have obtained. And next we are going to calculate the equivalent twisting moment, and the formula for equivalent twisting moment is T equal to root of m square plus t square. Since we have calculated m and t, so you just apply the values 562.5 into 10 to the power of 3 square plus 955 into 10 to the power of 3 square. So by solving this, you will get 1108 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton millimeter. Okay, and also we know that equivalent twisting moment T has another formula. TE has another formula, pi by 16 into tau into t cube. Okay, so we know this value TE. So apply here 1108 into 10 to the power of 3, that is equal to pi by 16 into tau value is given 42 into d cube. So you keep the d cube on the left hand side and move the other values to the right hand side. Pi. So by solving these things you will get 8.25. By taking the cube root of this you will get 51.2 millimeter. So this is what we have obtained. This is what we have obtained for diameter. So we need to calculate the shape. First we are going to calculate the diameter, 5.12 millimeter. Okay. The next one we are going to calculate the similar to the equivalent twisting moment, we need to calculate equivalent bending moment also. So we know the formula for that, ME equal to half m plus root of m square plus t square. So we may know this term m square plus t square. We may replace this term as 1 by 2 m plus te. So we know that te, okay, te, we may know that. So we know the values for these things. You apply the value 5625. It's 5, okay, 10 to the power of 3 plus 1108 into 10 to the power of 3. Okay, by solving the things you will get 5.25 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton millimeter. Okay, so this is what we have obtained as a equivalent bending moment. And next we know the other formula for ME. We know other formula for ME is pi by 32 into sigma b into d cube, whereas we know this value as 835.25 into 10 to the power of 3, that is equal to pi by 32 into sigma b is given as 56 into d cube. That is, if we move the d value to one side and the remaining value to the other side, you will get 835.25 into 10 to the power of 3. By solving these things you will get 5.5. By taking a cube root of this value you will get 53.4 millimeter. This is what we have obtained diameter for equivalent bending moment. Okay, the next one is the size of the shaft. We are going to calculate the size of the shaft when it is subjected to gradually applied load. Before we have calculated as the size of the shaft while it comes under twisting and bending moment. Now we focused on the gradually applied load. Okay, so we know that d equal diameter of the shaft. For the rotating shaft with the gradually applied load, we may look upon the table to take the values of km and kt. So let me check this table. Okay, so for rotating shaft, gradually applied load, the values, it's a steady load. So the km value is 1.5 and see this km value for gradually applied load, km value is 1.5 and kt is 1. So we may take this value here, km as 1.5 and kt as 1. Okay, kt as 1. So now we know the another term, equivalent twisting moment. Let me take this as ETM, equivalent twisting moment. TE equal to root of km into m square plus kt into t square. So this is the equation that we are going to calculate, km into m whole square plus kt into t whole square. So now we are going to apply the values. TE equal to root of 1.5 into m. We know m value as 562 5.10 to the power of 3 plus kt as 1 into 955 into 10 to the power of 3 whole square. By solving the above terms, you will get the value of 1274 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton millimeter. This is what we have obtained for TE. So we know that TE has another term, another formula, TE equal to pi by 16 into tau into d cube. Whereas if you apply the values, d cube equal to TE into 16 by pi into tau. By solving the things, you will get we know that T value, and apply the value, you will get D equal to 53.6 millimeter. So this is we have obtained by means of equivalent twisting moment. Next we move on to the equivalent bending moment. We know the formula for that, ME equal to 1 by 2 km into m plus root of km plus m into m whole square plus kt into t whole square. So once we know all the values, we just try to apply the values like this. 1 by 2 1.5 into 562.5 to the power of 3 plus 1274 to the power of 3. Yes, this is TE value. Okay, the equation for that TE and here also same. So if you try to calculate these things, you will get a 1059 to the power of 3 Newton millimeter. So we will get equivalent bending moment, and another formula for equivalent bending moment is pi by 32 into sigma b into d cube. Whereas d, we don't know that. We simply take the d on one side and the remaining to the other side. You will get d cube equal to 192.5 into the power of 3. Whereas if you solve these things, you will get a d equal to 57.7 mm. So once you compare all the diameter, the 57.7 millimeter is the higher, as the larger value. So we take this diameter for as the size of the shaft. So D, we know that 10 to 60, the incremental order is 5. So 57.5, 57.7 we may consider as 60 mm. So D equal to 60 mm. So in this way, we are going to we have calculated the size of the shaft. First we have focused on bending moment and twisting moment. Then we discussed about gradually applied load. Okay, thank you.